All right, let's talk about some of these other non-quarterback rookies that we had our eye on here. And let's start with our guy. By our guy, I mean your guy. You were on him higher than I was. Austin Booker out of Kansas. We talked for a time before the last few weeks of the draft that maybe at number 9, the Bears would take an edge rusher there. Dallas Turner, Leatu Latu, Jared Verse. They ended up taking Rome Odunze, probably the right pick, but they had to trade back into the draft. They only had 4 picks. They used a 5th pick to get Austin Booker on day 3. We talked about him last week. He's raw, but when I watched his snaps, he had 2.5 sacks, 5 tackle for losses. He was going against some tomato cans at the end there, but he went against the first team for a little bit. Blown away. Love the power.
No, he played for a long guy. He played with some leverage at the point, made a nice play at the scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, especially giving effort closing from the backside.
Yep.
Solid wrap tackler. He really, what I liked about him was that he's trying to slowly build his pass rush arsenal. Right now, he's using speed to power. He's got a nice little counter move inside. I saw a couple of counter spins, but you can see that length and that athleticism. And he's not thinking. This kid is one of the rookies I've seen that is playing with some confidence, like he knows what he's doing. I don't think he's going to be the answer as a 10-guy sack opposite of Montez Sweat this year. But I do think he's going to carve out a role and give him some pretty good rushes, at least be in a rotation.
I thought he did a good job against Deion Dawkins. A couple of snaps he had against him, the left tackle for the Bills. On the right side, he went against Spencer Brown, who's about 8 feet tall. And Spencer hit him with a punch one time and stopped him in his tracks. Different type offensive tackles, and will have different plans. But to your point, the bull rush seemed to be working. He was knocking guys off their feet. One of the backups, number 74, the left tackle, jumped off sides early, false started, and he still walked him into the backfield near the goal line there. The hair on fire approach to chasing down the ball that you like to use the phrase, saw a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for optimism. He didn't look to be, at times last year, especially the Senior Bowl, I thought he was overpowered. I didn't see any of that.
No, he reminds me of this, and watching him this preseason so far, DJ Wanham, when we drafted DJ Wanham on Saturday, that long, lanky athletic that's just learning. And I think he's got a lot of upside, and I think he will be a contributor this year.
All right, let's go to another guy that we both had on our list. Jaylen Wright, running back out of Tennessee, drafted by the Dolphins because they need more speed on that team. 10 rushes, 55 yards, had a touchdown. When he gets, it's the Devin Achane conversation. When he gets to the edge, that's a wrap. He'll run between the tackles like Devin will as well. We talked a lot about Keaton Mitchell last year during the draft process, and a little burner who wasn't interested in being inside. Jaylen doesn't have that concern. And I thought that in this offense, it's going to be a problem when you get all this speed on the field.
Yeah, no, there's no question. And we liked him coming out. I really liked him coming out. He led the FBS last year in plus 10-yard runs, most explosive runs in the open field out of any running back that came out. Doesn't have a lot of tread on his tire. You've seen his speed on that. They threw like a little swing or whatever screen, and he reversed his field, outrun the defense. You saw his speed there. He only had one target in the flat that was not catchable. The only negative I would have on him is that when he runs between the tackles, I just wish he was a little bit more violent and get his head pads a little lower. But he does go forward on contact, and he's always moving forward, but he needs to just be a little bit more violent when he's in between the tackles, running those inside zones.
Yeah, that's a good start. And you talk about the reverse that he ran there. Like that usually works in high school, maybe in college, and then it gets clamped on in the NFL. It looked like he was playing high school football. That was a high school highlight, his ability to get to the corner and turn on the afterburners there. All right, next up, the guy that you've been talking about before he was born, Ben Sinnott, tight end out of Washington. He was my tight end too. I'll take credit for that. We talked to him.
I was like your tight end 8 when we started. You didn't even know who he was.
Senior Bowl. He had a great Senior Bowl. We talked to him at the combine. He was a nice young man. Fine young man. I couldn't even remember my phrase. 3 catches for 57 yards. He had one big catch there, and he is not afraid to truck some folks. What'd you think of old Ben there in his debut? He didn't catch any passes from Jayden because Jayden wasn't out there, but he did well in his time on the field.
No, Poor man Sam Laporta said that at the Senior Bowl. And this guy's just a good football player. What I was most impressed with is they put him at multiple spots, outside, inside. So you're kind of seeing how they're going to use him as like a utility guy. But for an undersized tight end, I thought he got after guys blocking. To me, he was the best blocker I seen out of the tight ends I looked at, and rookie tight ends in the preseason. When he gets in the open field and he locks on guys, he's taking them to the ground now. He doesn't quit till the whistle blows, which I love that in his competitiveness. I thought that, he got a little outmanned at times when he had to go against some bigger defensive linemen, but it wasn't for lack of effort and fight in him. And then we saw the explosive catch. He does have good hands. I don't think he's as athletic as Laporta, but he's going to know how to get open. And, his run after catch, he was dragging guys down the field after the catch. So I thought for first exposure that he's going to have, I think, a significant role in that offense.
Yeah, we've talked about this draft class since the moment the draft concluded about how good it was. They got to figure out the offensive line and the left tackle. Maybe it's Brandon Coleman, maybe it's someone else. But other than that, we didn't talk about Mikey Sanders still either. I didn't go back and watch him, but I saw some clips that he had a pretty good afternoon as well. So he'll be a name to keep an eye on as we move forward here. I think we had only one other guy on your list, unless Dallas is on the list as well. I only had Terry and Arnold. Did you want to talk about Dallas as well?
Yeah, I have Dallas. I talked to Brian Thomas Jr., Jalen Pope, Trey Benson, Will Shipley.
You had all those guys?
Yeah, well, producer Harry said, so I'm up till midnight doing tape last night because producer Harry decides to send out triple homework assignment.
I didn't see that on the homework.
Yeah, I watched everybody.
Good Lord. All right. Who do you want to go to next? And I'll let you decide.
Let's talk to Alice Turner.
All right, let's talk Dallas.
You did him, right?
No, I didn't. Edge rusher, Alabama. He's now in Minnesota.
Did you do anybody?
Yeah, I did Austin and Jaylen, and I had my list of guys that I sent you.
Dallas played a lot from the 2 point, so you see how they're going to utilize him. He was pretty good setting the edge. He made a nice play off Brock Bowers at the point of attack. But other than that, wasn't much of a factor in the run game. I thought he needed to be a little bit more violent versus the run. But you can see the speed coming off the edge. He had the quarterback hip when the quarterback dropped 10 yards and didn't step up in the pocket. And he just went around the left tackle. I thought that once he gets to the quarterback level, he needs to flatten a little much. Too many times, and these rookies do that, is when they get to the quarterback level, these offensive tackles will keep riding them up the field on flattening through the outside edge of the offensive tackle or coming up with some kind of counter back to the inside. The sack he had, it was bound in the red zone where he chased the quarterback down. Now, again, those two aren't the most fleetest of foot. But I thought that he had a pretty impressive opening, especially rushing the passer, opening game.
All right. I'm looking at your list here. Good Lord, I didn't see all these names on here.
I didn't have them on my list until producer Harry sent out the rundown of the show, and then I did every guy on his list.
Harry, do you want to defend yourself?
Sure. I put all the rookies of note on there, and then we slightly adjusted what we were planning on talking about. And I send Rick an email with the rundown in it, and I update a live document for Ryan. And so the live document got updated, and I did not update the static document for Rick. So that one, I guess, is sort of on me and sort of on Rick, just not doing live.
It's not on Rick because Rick follows instructions. And if you write down 150 guys, I'll stay up till midnight and evaluate 150 guys.
Rick, you
I'll
sort
make
of
sure to let you know
instructions.
if we cut some guys next time.